So a couple of most important things I forgot to mention about Trump's speech. One is he said, this is why you have to pay attention to what he says. He said, when this election is over, I'll be president again. Like, this election? I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's like we're not really in election season yet. I don't think, not really. It's usually the election or leading up to the election. Just think about it. You have to think he's a master with words. He really is. That's why you have to pay attention to what he says. He's not like somebody you can just listen to while you're washing dishes, put it that way. You kind of really have to pay attention. And then he also said that when he was talking about the people that are going after everyone to investigate them, they're the ones under investigation. He said it twice, I believe, that they're under investigation. So even though it may seem like the global agenda is advancing, I'm not sure how much it is advancing. It's hard for me to judge that because of I work in healthcare, so healthcare it'll go down with this ship because the science is all tied up in it. So. And it's different at different places. So I've said before, if you're a nurse and you're at a small hospital and you think going to a big, great university hospital is the way to go, I wouldn't do it. Or a magnet, I would, because they're going along with all this political stuff more than smaller hospitals. Yeah, in fact, I mean, the real heroes when it comes to the health system could be the hospitals that actually stand out and buck this whole global thing. I don't know if they could. I think a lot of the CEOs, because I know I call them all scumbags, they're not all scumbags. The ones one I dealt with, yeah, at Northwestern, absolutely, because what they did, they had no reason to. They went after me for something I didn't even do, but it was a weekend right before that I was on a Trump boat parade, yeah. So, and he would have known because I was uploading the pictures from the boat to Snapchat. And a lot of people, I had to, in order to work at Northwestern, I wouldn't download their app, but they were really making people do it. I didn't do it, but anybody who looked at any of those that I work with, Northwestern would have known it. So they just were, and I had already reported them for the cameras, so with as much surveillance as that place has, I'm sure that they were just trying to find anything to get rid of me. But it was totally unwarranted. A tech took a blood sugar on the wrong patient, and they decided to put it on me because she scanned a wristband at the desk. I didn't scan it. I had nothing to do with it. But that's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge. He was that CEO though was totally on board with this. He was all pushing the Black Lives Matter stuff, pushing people to go out to riot, busing people to riots, and that's what the BLM protests were. They were always turning into riots, most especially in Chicago and Illinois. But wanting managers to give their employees time off to go to that, but yet their hospital downtown, their main hub. Their doctors were putting out articles about the back to work protest people are putting everybody in jeopardy. It was like a month before the BLM. It was like, or a month after. It was right around the same time, and it's like, you guys are such hypocrites. So, I mean, the real test would be, if you get some of these hospitals that won't go along with all this political nonsense. They really would be a standout at this point. And they're going to be your smaller hospitals because the past 10 years, that's the reason why the healthcare system has been tanking. Your unions can tell you whatever they want. They're going to act all innocent in it. No, they're not. They've been on board with that agenda because if you take the healthcare system down, you can force us into globalization. So that's why the unions push their single payer. They'll use different terms: single payer, universal healthcare, Medicare for all the same thing, communist healthcare system. We're already in socialized medicine. We have been for a while, pretty much. I mean, we have a small portion of it that's not socialized. But that's the reason why the healthcare system has gotten worse. And the unions are helping to do that because they know it'll make it worse if they get their Medicare for all. It will. Just look up Venezuela. It's not like these people are so stupid they don't know this. Like I said in my other video, communists should have their heads examined. They should really have a mental health evaluation. So they know what they're going along with, the heads of these nursing unions and the professional organizations as well. It's designed because they can't get around our Constitution, so they have to. That's why the education system is on board. That's why healthcare system's on board, and so many of our lobbyists were able to pay politicians to get on board. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, there's a ton of American people that don't love America or have no problem selling out this country. So is every hospital CEO a scumbag? Maybe. I don't know. They all, to some degree, went along with it. If some of them walked some of it back, then that's good. I would say your safest bet is your hospitals that aren't monopolized. If they're with a big university hospital, I would sooner go to a small hub hospital, not because of the nursing care, not because of that. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that the big university hospitals, that's where public health is at. So they're going to be all on board with what the communists want, which is your CDC, all the people that have aligned with that 17 unsustainable development goals. So that's the reason I say that. It would be nice to see if there would be some little hospitals that would buck this and show that they are about true science and not political science. But yes, those are the things that Trump mentioned were that when this election is over, he'll be the president again, and that they are under investigation. So they're already under investigation. So take some comfort in that, because for everybody that thinks nothing is going on, well, I think he just was trying to tell people, no, they're under investigation. So that's why it's really important to pay attention to the test that's happening. Not a test by him, but what you're willing to go along with. And not because you're going to be arrested necessarily, but I've said this for a long time, this is one of those big tests that I don't think has ever really happened, where it's like you don't want to be on the wrong side of history here. Like National Nurses United, all the nursing unions, all the professional organizations in healthcare and nursing, they are on the wrong side of history. I will guarantee it with my life, they are. And will they be wise enough to get off that track? Who knows? And how involved they got with the UN too. I've said before, some of these people should be investigated. But you don't want to be on the wrong side of history, because those high status positions you have, then you're not going to have them very long. You won't, because we're not going back to the old normal, but we're not going with their new normal either. So it's kind of what's going to happen. I mean, not that everything will be changing, but I think it's safe to say that there's going to be some major changes that take place as time goes on. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of history, most especially if you're an American. This country comes before socialism, because we're not about socialism, we're not about communism, and we never will be, no matter how much healthcare, public health, CDC, and nursing organizations want to take us there. Other people couldn't take down this country, and neither will they.